Dun, 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 dun. Tonight, live from her living room, SG. Yes, after many, many, many invisible requests, I decided to go live. Well, anyway, hello to anybody if they watch the replay. I just wanted to come and say hi because I hadn't been live, and I always feel like I don't know, whenever the mood strikes me that I might want to go live. Not that I even really have much to talk about. I mean, you know, there's not there's not been like a whole heck of a lot of, you know, too much bad mouthing going on anymore. And I mean, sure, we could like dredge up the past and shit like that, but I mean, if we learn every day, then maybe we can like grow every day, right? And I don't know, I feel like it's hard for channel owners to um like when you see that, okay, so if you put something in the thumbnail, or if you usually do drama or whatever the case may be, when you don't do drama, I hate to call it drama because drama is just kind of like life, like you know what, it's like a genre of movies really to me. um but um when you don't do it, you notice that you don't have maybe as much people or whatever the case may be. um so then you feel like bad because you don't know. It's really hard. It's hard to please people, but it's really easy to disappoint people. I think we think it might be hard to please people sometimes and not realize how easily pleased some people are. That's the word. But how weird is that to be doing that at this time of night? To come out, to come up with like ideas. That's what's hard. So, you know, and of course, like people don't want to keep fighting. They really don't. Trust me, I don't think so. Anyway, I really don't think so. That people really, really want to always keep fighting. Do you guys think so? I don't even know if like anybody's really even here because it says 7, but it's tough because if you don't have a co-host to talk to, and me, I'm kind of a late night person. Like I would be more apt to work third shift somewhere, or um, if I had like a radio show, be the late night radio show host. It's not a bad thing to be a night owl type of person. It's really not. And I often like it's funny because I do sometimes want to do like the preview things and um talk about topics and subjects and stuff, but then God, I can't believe this person's out there at this time and I ain't moving barrels around. But it's hard because for one thing, like in my case, I always like feel oh well, I don't know, I've done it before, like scheduled stuff and then like slept through it or you realize it's just so weird. Isn't life weird? No, who's gonna be the first person to say hello to me tonight? Let's try it. It's really weird because what I've noticed is I don't think for this time of night having 11 people in the room is that bad. Okay. Um, it's really not. There's 11 people awake looking for someone to talk to, something to listen to, or whatever the case may be. Right? Say hello. No need, no need, no need to not say hello. Say hello. But I don't know if there are people who used to say hello but can't anymore because they feel like a certain kind of way. Like, but we can all say anything we want, like that's kind and not, you know, not ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I would hate to think that that nobody has anything to say. Today I noticed that Miss Passion had put up SG's lying again. Man, Miss Passion, you put me through some fucking hell, and you know you did. Um, now I'm not certain that you were a rogue mod. Okay, I'm not certain, but you have said that you were, you know, um, you know, paid in a certain way to harass me. So I think it would be more logical for instead of you to say, SG's lying again, more lies, lies, lies from SG, knowing that I could clearly, 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 clearly go back through your entire history and find multiple times that you have attacked me in a derogatory way or taken part of derogatory things towards me with no provocation, said shit about my health without me even knowing it was occurring. Didn't know at that time I should be leery of you while you sat there and spoke of me having cancer in a questionable manner in a live stream over a year ago, your own live stream, and said that, but I do like the drama. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Are you implying that I like cancer? But you do realize you wouldn't have even been saying that if not for your good buddy, Jules. Your personal ATM was how I believe you were told to. Santa Claus, hello. That's how you refer to them. So for you to put up something to shed you in more bad light, then you're already at risk of being shone upon. I mean, is that how you want to go down? I mean, didn't you say your mother passed away from cancer? So are you willing to risk disappointing? Hello. No, no, I'm still tossing that around Detroit. I know Miss Passions put up a few questionable things, but I'm just I'm not sure. I mean, for entertainment purposes, I could allow her to be relevant, give her the little, just 15 minutes of fame. I don't know about free lunches about that or anything. I don't know about that. It's funny though that you picked that name Santa Claus tonight, secular, because she had previously, had you know, I was just going through a few things, and she had gotten this. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what this means. She doesn't call it. That's I kept off. Yeah, I mean, like, I was watching like an older, video, and then I was going through some old, like I was looking for something in screenshots. And hi, Bobby. and she was having, a grand old time at my expense in these live streams. And I mean, I really didn't, you know, I didn't even want to rehash that all back up, but I was pretty surprised that a person who openly admitted to accepting payment, to harass a woman or harass anyone for that matter, um, suddenly decided to, I see you here, Sander, um, suddenly decided to, start, posting stuff on their community page and making videos about me. I'm just, when in a particular live stream, when I'm speaking of our, our past history. Okay. Mhm. Thank you, Detroit. I appreciate you giving me your listening time. Um, I just was a little surprised that, in my eyes, if I had done that to somebody, but I would never anyway, take money to harass a person. I don't know. That shit just doesn't make sense. Okay, Sander. Thank you. You have a good night too, or day, or whatever you're getting ready for. But it was funny, she got this. I'm just like amazed to the audacity for her to admit that she had accepted some form of, compensation to harass me. And then when I speak on it, I get called a liar. Now, good night, Sander. Speculum. How, what's the fucking, what's the logic in that? The logic. No, no, no. There's no dispute there. Secular. No. First of all, you are good at causing dispute. You are a shit stirrer. Um, the only you're only. I will tell you, the only thing that is working in your favor is Youper Amy. That's it. Youper Amy is your saving grace. Secular. You went up about two notches to me, if not three. If you can maintain three, that is your prerogative on how you conduct yourself towards me. But the whole you per Amy incident, secular. Now, I consider myself a stand up person. I'm sorry. I'm not egotistical. I just know me. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be. But secular, I've seen you do some shit that me as being me just cannot tolerate. So when you came out with, you know, Gooper Amy and that you had watched her videos and stuff. I thought that was good. That was impressive to me. That was a good sign of a redeeming quality. And and that was my dog, by the way. He didn't fart. He just moved. So that was not me. If anyone just heard that, it was my dog. It was not a fart. It was I don't even know if you guys are still hearing that. I might just be rambling on to myself. Secular mustn't be hearing me. So, uh, hey, now, change your avatar. I see. I don't know what that is. But is it a breath? Of course, it's not a breath. I know that. Yeah, there's no dispute. I was just relating what I was privy to, unfortunately. Yeah. Now it's up to you to conduct yourself in a manner everywhere. Like if you want to continue your trying to create conflict behavior and maybe even if you're not doing it here, but you're doing it elsewhere about any of us, you will be quick to lose the respect that you have earned and gained. And since we are respectful people here, when happiness comes for a visit, offer it a comfortable seat. And I'm just asking you to conduct yourself in a different way when speaking of, no, 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 everywhere pertaining to anyone here. You can't, if I see you or anyone tells me that you are trying to create conflict between anyone here in this channel who has to tolerate you now, I will. About a topic, I know it's the Moon Night Owl. That's very nice. I'm asking you to stop lying and trying to cause any kind of drama because we are tolerating you and the people here who, neither here nor there for them, but you moved up a couple of notches with me with that Amy incident. That was very kind of you. Don't don't lose the respect that you've earned. That's what I'm saying. You don't get nitpicked, secular. You came out uh, into this community speaking of foot fetishes, and you were inappropriate. You were inappropriate. You were, I'm just telling you. Yes, but I don't want to hear about it. I don't want you going into other people's channels and talking about who do you think would win a fight, you or Survivorgirl. No, I wouldn't be surprised. I've worked in strip joints. I've been a bartender for years. You think I'd be surprised about fetishes? No, I'm just, I conduct myself decently, and I'm asking you to do the same and to not disrespect and make up lies and try to stir shit about anybody here. And I still think it was you that porn bombed me. Respect and call. Good night. Have a good day, and I hope your colonoscopy went well the other day. Not like enjoyably well, ultimately well. All right. Good. Let's see. Hi, Miriam. How are you? Yeah. Sometimes, Miss Fashion, there are times you need to, that's fine. Um, pick your battles wisely. And you have taken payment to harass a complete stranger pertaining to their health diagnosis, cancer, which you said your own mother passed away from. Okay. Now you have evidently either listened to what you call a 9.5 hour live stream, knew the timestamp but not accurately, uh, didn't even say the name of the live stream, say you don't watch the live stream, but somehow, some way, oh, that's horrible. That sucks. That sucks, man. But it's good that you don't need stitches, but still, that's horrible. Cut your palm. Ooh, ooh, I don't want to think of it. But then you threatened me to get a, a doll to do a parody about me. May who rest in peace. Oh, mm, yes, absolutely. Correct. Like, you can't think to yourself, what if somebody was doing that? What if somebody took payment to harass your mother with cancer? You know I'm a mother, right? I was talking about not his mother, nobody's mother. What are you talking about, Night Owl? I'm confused too. All right. What I was referring to was a community post and a video that Miss Passion had made pertaining to, I don't know, or supposedly I said she was a rogue mod. I don't know. I don't know. I was just referring to the video that she had made saying that she tried to delete something and couldn't. I don't know. The fuck, you know? So she's threatening to buy a doll to make fun of me. All right. My mom too. I want my mom to rest in peace too. I don't mean to laugh. I mean, these motherfuckers thought it was all like fucking fun as fucking shit. I could show you guys stuff I didn't even realize I had. Like, I was looking at this one fucking video, and one person saying they were that person, and then I see another video, and they're like, "Hi, it's me," and they're using the same fucking name. Like, are you guys gonna be okay? All this to harass people? And who's there all the time? What kind of a doll is she gonna get? Is it gonna be the one like Lolly Cunningham? One of those little people dolls? I was just surprised that no, they're not. Are giving hilarious? No. We don't say blobbles here. We say bobbles. We don't like call Sharon shady either. Yeah, that's not really that much trouble though, I know. Who laughed at me? Thank you. Yeah. You know, I don't think they're funny at all. She made parodies about cancer too, you know. She's like, "Can I return my cancer?" None of that shit's funny. You cut my bread. Cut, cut, cut. You know. I didn't say you had to like her, but if you like me, you could, at least, you know, I'm not asking you to like her. I'm asking you to just, you know, yeah, she did. She did a couple of them about me with a freaking wig on and a scarf and acting like she had no hair, saying I had like oral sex with my dog. Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's what she's been doing, like when she does that voice. And Hug Million is all happy about it and saying, you know, SG doesn't have cancer. She is cancer. And fucking that's why. Hey Kelly, how you doing? Yeah, it's fucking horrible. Sitting there with a freaking jar of peanut butter and shit. You know what the fuck? My dog went to my appointments with me and shit, you know? Got everybody sitting there saying my dog could, shit on my pillow and stuff. And I gave a pass. I gave a pass. That shit doesn't stop hurting. Shit like that don't stop hurting. It doesn't. That's hard. I mean, I get it about, oh yeah, well, blah blah blah, but when somebody tells you it's not that bad, it's a parody. So that their apology isn't like, I'm sorry I did it, it's disgusting. It's like, I'm sorry I did it, accept it, it's a parody and it's funny. And I'm thinking, I don't think it's funny. I swallowed that down. I gave a pass. So to sit there hearing somebody sit there going, and I gave her a pass. Come on, man. Can I return my can, sir? Well, I am humble. I mean, I never fucking threw that in anybody's face. And yet, there's Miss Passion fucking saying, basically, so I don't even understand. So did she watch my 9.5 hour live stream that she complains about just to find what, a 5 minute fucking statement about her? And you know, or did someone else watch it and send it to her and tell her it was there and she didn't watch it because she keeps saying, and something something, I don't know, something something. But if you don't stop saying something something, I'm gonna be buying a doll about you and making a new parody. For fucking what? You took money to harass a woman with cancer that you didn't even know. But if I don't stop saying something, something, thank you, Nino. You got this other woman who keeps referring to bullies, bullies, know what bullies are. And it's like, I'm hoping she knows you teach best what you most need to learn. And that's why she keeps repeating herself. Because she must need to learn that she's a bully. Bullies, yeah, bully. I mean, obvious is just that. Obvious. We supported that person who keeps making these bully videos, claiming that it's bully, 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 bully. You turned on us for no reason whatsoever. What you did was hurtful. It wasn't like we wanted to be angry. We were stunned and our feelings were hurt. You know? Well, right now I'm talking about net net. Uh, you know, you hurt a whole channel's feelings, net net. I'm sorry. I don't feel like I can't speak for myself and my friends here that we thought your friend. You like literally each person that affects people differently. Sharing things different, the mustache things different, everything's different. But net net, why are your feelings hurt, net? Oh, about net net? Still, you're saying? Yeah. You literally, I don't know if you like that. And yeah, we can bear it. We could bear it, definitely. Yeah, but it was surprising. I know, right, Bobby? I down for what, man? You admitted to fucking what the fuck, man? Basically, I was right that you were getting paid to do things. You admitted it. No biggie, right? Let's move on. Hey, you want me to stop talking about it, but you're saying, you know what I'm saying, Miss Fashion? Like, and I just don't want people to think that, things don't hurt. Like, I don't know how they are, but I know how we are. And we were being truly supportive as a group to somebody that we truly, truly liked. And like I don't know. I think that we are like shocked because I don't know. I don't even think like Bobby or Night Owl or like I Heart Pink or Day Day or Andrew stuff like really related you to the past year and a half, the Ollie days or what. You were like just likable to them. They just automatically liked you, which, made me see you in a different light because my friends like you and I trust their judgment. And yeah, but when you go downhill and you're a snowball, you get bigger and that's cool, man. You could become an avalanche and fucking level some shit. Correct? Correct. Yeah, over the hill only means we picked up speed. I hear you, Miriam, but you know what? Target, when you're the target of it in an aggressive campaign, that where people are actually, it's very comparable, if not, could be defined as stalking, and they like literally harass, like reach into your life, like I literally removed my GoFundMe because they were harassing people that were donating. Or if they didn't, I felt they were going to, but they had in the past, and that Luna was like being, incited to, encouraged to. People were like, literally, I have a question about SG's cancer. Is Luna here? Like, I don't even, I guess like when I look back at all things, I guess Luna was around for a while, but I didn't even like notice her until like the last, I don't know, couple of months or something, man. I don't even know who that woman is. But, lately she hasn't said much. That's cool. Um, but I'm just, trying to give an example of things that happen when it's real hard to ignore some things when they won't ignore you. See, that therein lies the problem. like on Facebook, say, for instance, when people harass people on Facebook, they go, oh, well, you can block them. Well, yeah, you can block them. It doesn't mean that they don't still talk about somebody. It's not, the problem isn't ignoring them. It's a problem that they don't ignore the person they're bullying. Everybody like tries to make it appear that if somebody kept throwing a rock at you, right? Yeah, and that's what was going on, Miriam. That I would had Munchausen syndrome. It was like running a racket. It is starting to tone down, I believe. Um, you know, but at the end of the day, it really is about the fact, like, can they ignore the person that's doing that's where the problem is that, people think that the solution is for us to ignore them, but I don't know, if you get a dent in your car and you ignore it, it never goes away. If, an army, then, in the next uh, country or something decides they're gonna, attack that country and start, attacking their boundaries, okay? Like trying to cross borders, cross boundaries of privacy, of, do an aggressive attempt at destroying a country. And, um, if you think of it as a person, if that country ignored it, then they win. Not win, but I'm just saying that nothing ever gets handled by ignoring it. Nothing does. Because whatever is making causing the disruption, whether it be even a rash or something in your eye, by ignoring it, it doesn't go away. When something is trying, whether, consciously or just because you got a splinter, when something is hindering you or causing you grief, ignoring it doesn't make it go away. Yeah, but people talking, it's always there. Understand crime, crime taking. Oh, people talking. It is. Exactly. I guess if we didn't talk about it, then Miss Passion wouldn't know, and you wouldn't know that Sharon made a parody thing, cancer. Know what I mean? I mean, it's good to know, like, people, like, not always, somebody trying to talk about. Basically, this all got, started. This conversation that you and I are having, Miriam, is because you called Bobbles Blobbles, correct? And I just said to you, can you not call her that? We don't call Sharon Shady here, and we don't call, we just don't. And then you said that you didn't like her, but you called her blavos again. So like I'm feeling a certain kind of way, thinking like, you're making me feel like I'm wasting time talking about what's going on. But looking back, I recollect that this conversation got started by that. Yeah, and I'm skinny. Doesn't mean that I can't like hope for the best. You know, here's the thing. I could relate to when Babo said in her live stream the other day that when people, even though she brought, like she said, spoke of the whole infidelity between her and her husband. She was new to YouTube. Same thing, like, with Sharon talking about her addiction, or me talking about cancer. You think you can talk about something, right? And she said that she, you know, wanted to put into words why, she wanted to put into words why she went as far as she did with Sharon, like with the DK stuff, and that she really hadn't been able to until she did like a little self reflection, like, had a little like epiphany that it was because basically she wasn't excusing herself. She was realizing and explaining and then trying to move forth from it. Uh, she was just learning a little about herself that made her more relatable to me. I don't know, just some stuff. You know how they go back and forth with each other, them two. But the infidelity stuff, she said, it was a time when it was so, something that was such a bad time in her life that, of course, something like that would, I don't like to like speak on anybody else's story or anything, but I was able to relate more to her after listening to her say it gave her nightmares whenever, they would, yeah, it's a nasty name, fine, but yeah, and that it would give her nightmares. And the thing is that, um, that's how I feel. Like I literally will wake up and be having nightmares like about cancer and hearing all this stuff still in my head. Well, she revealed something so personal, like in the sense that's comparable to Sharon revealing about her addiction and her past criminal history, and or even me talking about cancer. I think because she's human. And as for being still together, they're still together. See, it's not about her still with him. It's also about him still with her. Not like he left for this other person. Something occurred that's not. anything for us to run with or think of. Bottom line is they're still together. And that, I mean, realistically, realistically, think of every Lifetime movie you've ever watched. It's a challenge that's done through love. Infidelity occurs within marriages, but trying to fix it is hard, and it's done by usually from what I've seen. I've never been in the experience myself. I'm only speaking my opinion only, but it's done out of love because there's got to be something to motivate. Exactly, Miriam. But how easy is it? You're speaking out of in a judgmental sense where you're not speaking out of being able to think about what you're saying. You know, think about what you're saying. Um, I am not saying that you've ever been in that position, but if you haven't, then you also don't know. I've never been in that position. Well, did he leave? Did he do it continuously? Did he even try? I'm sure your circumstance was the same but different because we're all different, you know? Maybe when, you know, I don't know. I'm not delving into that, but I know that you're not willing to reveal all those personal details to say, well, that's why this. So you really can't, you know, I think it's just human to talk about, and people should be able to without people who are just, you know, disruptive to society, like people who want to take something like that and, you know, go with it. I also like, I've never been in Sharon's position, you know. All I'm saying is that if the people who think that that's upsetting to not be able to use a, social platform to just be human, then, you know, I just feel like we all need united we stand, divided we fall. And that's why I'm still here doing what I'm doing because I just want a safe spot for people who, you know, don't, I'm not saying we don't talk about what's going on in our community. That'd be ridiculous because we refer to it as a community. Sure, of course, we can talk about what goes on in our community, but we don't have to be derogatory or, you know, exactly. I get that, Miriam. Okay. And you feel that way without even experiencing sharing something and being open about something, and then not everybody using it. Here's the thing, can I ask you, do you not think that some of what I said is correct? That somewhat, even if it didn't happen to you in your situation, if you see two people though trying to make things better, can if it's even if you don't, think, oh, I would go that route, can you understand about, but can they? And just either if you don't want to encourage them, then don't call or, don't. All I'm saying is people learn every day a little about themselves. And just like people who support Sharon are hoping for her to change and go to rehab, well, then there's also rehab of the mind, self reflection and stuff. So just because perhaps Bibles didn't physically go to rehab doesn't mean that she couldn't have gotten better. Yeah, it is. And that's what Bibles was saying. And that she realizes what was motivating her to go at Sharon even harder. And it was getting worse and worse and worse. And this, this is just according to herself and her, you know, I know, I get that, Bobby, but you still call her Bobble, at least. That's all I asked. That's all it was. I'm just saying, I just watched her show and I could relate to the nightmares thing. That was all it was. I could relate to the nightmares. I could relate to her having nightmares, and I could relate to what she said because that's what I was doing. I was having nightmares. Well, at least give them the respect for trying. Well, maybe for a moment he didn't know what he wanted. I mean, it doesn't, it's not, there's a lot of things that aren't right, but if we can't help each other, then let's not hurt each other. It's everybody's story is everything is different. Everything. I mean, think about this, right? Think about this. Let's let's like hypothetically, let's create a scenario in our minds, okay? Let's create I think there was a movie about like something like this. I feel like it had Jodie Foster and Richard Gere, but I could be wrong, okay? But I think it was a little weirder, but whatever. Okay. Say that you were like, I don't know, I seem to be a bit of a night owl, Detroit. Yeah, but we don't know if the woman feels like maybe it was her fault and she's working hard to not do that again and hoping that she can't do that again, and they're opening up the lines of communication and trying to keep something together that they seem to laugh with each other. I mean, when you can laugh with each other, that's huge. And they're sharing a common ground with the computer, and I mean, if she hadn't have told people that that happened, I wouldn't have guessed it. I mean, all she did was be honest, but the point is, can we at least have some decorum within a community? We don't know every detail, though. I got some snappy people in my room, huh, Detroit? Thank you, Night Owl. Hi, DTP. See, she got sweet after she was sassy. She's sassy and sweet, our Night Owl. Sweet and sassy. Then we got the big wolf there, Bobby Ramos. Bobby Ramos! Miriam. She's fairly new, but we like her. I like her name. Nice Jewish name. I know it's not Miriam the way that is, but I like to think it is. That's the way I am. The way I am. Okay, but still, the point is this. All right, all right. So I was gonna create a scenario. Okay, I believe it was called Summer something, Somerset, Summer something, and I get you. Don't worry. Uh, but Miriam is Jewish, really. Right. We know nobody's a quitter here. Nobody's a quitter. All right, all right, all right, all right. I'm making a false scenario in our heads. Okay. So say we live during like wartime. Okay. And you were, or not even war times, whatever the case may be. Say you had somebody you were wicked in love with, okay? You were so in love with. So, I mean, like, oh my God, like their touch just made you love you could remember their smell, everything, okay? All right. So, say he goes fishing somewhere. That's right. Goes fishing. I know. I said the spelling is different. I did say that. I said the spelling is different. Um, so you go and okay, goes off in a sailboat, fishing, doing whatever the fuck, okay? And all of a sudden there's a storm and they find like the remains of the boat and everything and he's gone. So say 2 years go by, some shit, right? You like slowly, whatever, ended up meeting somebody. Uh, no kids, no kids. With the okay, no kids, and you had been with this new guy. He moved into the house that you guys shared. He'd been there maybe 6 months, whatever, who knows. And all of a sudden, he comes back. He had been stranded on an island. What would you do? Or what would they do? What would they do? Would they be like, they cheated, they didn't know if I was, they didn't know. I mean, it still would be just as heartbreaking and stuff. I mean, but none of us know. We're not in that situation. It just seems so harsh to be so harsh. I mean, if you were totally in love with somebody, you might want to be with them, even if they were with somebody else. It's overrated if you've never. It's over. Like, I understand that saying, uh, it's better to have loved than lost than never to have loved at all. I understand that, but sometimes that's like saying if somebody that you love lost their leg or their hand, it's never going to be the same, but you love them and you're going to try. And I think it would be not the same kind of hard, but that would be hard. What if they got paralyzed from the waist down and couldn't have sex anymore? Those are mountains that we have to climb. People as friends lose trust with each other, but then you have to depend on them as a person, as a different person. Then, you can't expect the same results from everyone. If you tell somebody, if you tell somebody, if you do this, you are killing our friendship and I will never forgive you for it. And then they do it. And I mean, like, as a friend. But we don't know the situation. That's the thing. It is to each their own. Exactly. Exactly. To each their own. But so some things aren't that obvious. Like, I mean, she may have told us a part of her story, but she didn't tell us all of it. Where I think it's pretty apparent that when people, there's, okay, how about somebody staying with an addiction for 26 years? Could that be the same? Could that be considered the same? Could it? Because you didn't call Sharon a name. you made exceptions to that rule. So there's something within there that made you make that personal choice to say, and you know what it is? It's routine. It's because you're in the habit of saying blavos and in the habit of saying Sharon, where there's people who, like here, we're in the habit of saying bobbles and Sharon, you know? Right, but my point is Sharon attacking it and Bobbles attacking Sharon about her addiction. It's not getting anybody anywhere. Conversations like these are good, right? I think that even if Bobbles and Mr. Bobbles were to hear and to answer these kind of questions, would be helpful because my thought process is that I bet you there's probably more than 1,000 people that are trying to make a marriage or a relationship work that has suffered some type of betrayal. I think it would be, I think myself that if they had not told anybody, nobody would know. I think if there's such a thing as recovery for an addict, then there's such a thing as a recovery for marriage. Freaking dog was a. Oh, I don't think anybody is trying to feed into it. Yeah, Tom Reed is, he's definitely the, the catalyst. But I will tell you what, I'm sorry, my dog is playing with a water bottle. You know how dogs like water bottles, like noisy? I will tell you what, though. I watched a couple of his videos the other day, and it was when he was giving away, he was giving the donations to people. And I thought to myself, people were really, really kind there. Hold on a minute. Exactly. I think that, hi, Ruby. I myself, I think that this is a nice conversation here. I don't think that this is, right. Yeah, in general, I get it. Yeah. I think this is a good conversation here. And it actually started out, I think, with like, I was trying to express in Detroit that cool, as a channel, a content creator, that it can get, you know, uh, you try to think, okay, well, what can I do in my channel? You know what I'm saying? And yet then you see that basically, you know, the drama stuff, people will say they don't like it, but then, but they are there, it's there. But then again, I mean, it's really not drama, it's what's going on in the community that we're talking about. But I think that um that we were just basically kind of, I guess, uh, I don't know, like an open chat. It went wherever it went. Um, but it is really hard to, you know, to come up with ideas sometimes. And, I don't, I think that I myself, like in my opinion, I think that, if you laugh a lot with somebody, for me, sense of humor. And if somebody laughs a lot, like if they laugh at the stuff I say and stuff, like somebody I'm dating or with, have to spend mega a lot of time with, right? If we laugh at with each other, then they get me, and you know that's like that's it. That's important. Now, if also if there's passion, like if when you touch each other. Yeah, oh man, I can't even imagine. Um, I mean, I can't imagine because it is, it is without the what do they say? Like without the lows, we wouldn't even know the highs. And but when there's things that happen that you can't put out of your head, and I think that we've all had something like like with me, it's like cancer. Ow, me, it's like, cancer, okay? Or things like, I'm sure there's others, but let's just take that. Uh, there's certain things in life that have occurred to us that we would rather they never did, but they did. But the heart wants what the heart wants in matters of love, even in matters of parents. I mean, man, your kid doing bad things, but you love your kid, right? The heart wants to believe. The heart wants what the heart wants. Sometimes the mind and the heart don't always go hand in hand, but I think that it's best to follow the heart because it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I can't tell you how many people I have uh, asked, well, have you ever like felt that way? Has anybody ever set the bar? Not that you go around and you compare everybody to, oh, they got to be like them. But you just know that if you ever had written down your romance novel, how you would be swept away, that they did that. And you know you were content. Lizzie Love. What does that mean? I don't know what you mean, Miriam. Sometimes it doesn't have to be that hard. Sometimes other people, surrounding people, make it harder than it has to be. People make cancer fucking whoa difficult for me. But see, some things like what's going on between them isn't within their control, but it is to try to work on it. But what happened is like that's in their past. That's never going to change. But the behavior of others is within their control. That's their control of people. Well, Miriam, aren't you a bucket of joy? See, that's the problem. That they're in. Like, what's wrong with emotions? I'm saying it's better. I'd rather spend 2 years with memories that will last a lifetime than a lifetime with someone not very memorable. Well, I don't know about you, but what you're talking isn't my reality. I recollect fondly many things in life. Move on. Then that would mean I'm not a better person for everything I had in my life, everything that I've gone through. No, I embrace it. I embrace it, and ah, man, I find the pearl in the oyster. I don't just go, this is too hard to pry open. What's in here? And throw it down and say, because reality is, some person did pry that oyster open, probably got real caught up doing it. They didn't have the fucking shucking knife and all that shit, all the instruments. And there's a pearl. Pearls are very valuable. You know, they took those, and then look at everybody wanted them. Then I mean, come on, man. It's all in how you see it. But recognize other people's struggles and find a reason to, like, I mean, not make their load heavier. I get it. Maybe you liked Sharon and didn't like Bobbles. I get it. But sometimes take a moment and refresh. But that's the point that I'm trying to make to you. Maybe they didn't make each other unhappy every day. I mean, that's an obvious. If somebody makes somebody unhappy every day, then get out of it, right? That's obvious. But hasn't there been millions of songs written about, you know, about not knowing what you had till it's gone, fucking up. I mean, bottom line is ignore it, move on, say fuck it, do this, do that. What's your passion? If everything like that is to you so discardable and disposable, what are you passionate about, Miriam? Okay, no getting over cheating. Did you get over him? No, I'm just wondering. Did you get over him? I mean, I get it that you never get over cheating, right? You don't. Some people you never get over. And realistically, realistically, what you're saying is correct. But realistically, what you're saying is correct. Same thing with when people will come in here and say, oh, my wife had breast cancer, or she died from it, or, they'll say stuff like that, right? And I'll go, but I'm using the power of positive thinking. And then people think, they are like, oh, SG, she's so mean. She's so mean. This guy, his wife died of cancer, and she told him, but we're not thinking that way because that's the point. Every moment is valuable. You have a great time too. You know, it's the point, like, what do you mean? The point is that the power of positive thinking is it's hard for the person who's trying to, think, yeah, I'm, eating, or the person who is thinking, I'm trying to, reconcile in my mind that, we can rebuild our trust. Um, the power of positive thinking is hard when it's trying to be something that happened that was not not in the plan, and you try to forget about it as best you can, and then other people say, "I would do this, I would do that, I would handle this way, I would handle that way," and um, now I'm not trying to be funny, but I've seen like addicts get bigger, not bigger, more compassion than real people. Like that, um, there's a difference between having a habit and trying to make a marriage work, or having a habit and having cancer. I mean, if we're going to be realistic here, to have the mindset that I'll just boost instead of work and everybody else can pay the higher prices. And with, and I'm not speaking on anyone in particular right now. We all know that there's more than one example of this type of behavior that we've all seen be excused by addiction, saying their, mind is affected by their addiction, but it's a, there's a difference between a habit. I guess that would count as betrayal, but it depends on the two people, Miriam. Everyone's story is different, but as human beings, we should encourage people instead of telling people how you would handle it, encourage how they're handling it. If it's in, like, how are they hurting you? Where I could see that, I mean, let's be for real. Prices being raised because of boosting, you know, uh, taxes being raised because people setting fires and food carts for, other people's kids that are like blatantly making money, uh, asking a question about how drug use affects children when you're well over the age of having children, so the question doesn't pertain to you. So it's obviously, and I'm not talking to anyone specifically here. I'm saying these are examples of the passes. No, it is not a disease. I understand what you're saying. And that, the reality of things that most people say that until something happens to them. And then we all handle it the way we handle it. And it is what it is. But for somebody who blatantly, what I'm saying. I mean, does the person who is a drug addict and is married, does the person say, "Oh, if you ever do any drugs, I'll break up with you"? Just talking about encouraging people, Tara, really. Like, is the person who's the drug addict the one calling themselves the drug addict, or is the one who doesn't use drugs and labels and judges people the one that is so anti-drug that the other person can't even smoke a joint without being called a drug addict? I'm just wondering, because I don't think you're talking about baubles in marriage anymore. So you must be talking about something else. And my question is, no, no, no. Okay. Well, let me ask you, Miriam. What you were talking about, the drug addict one, right? What happens when you have a drug and you're married and hiding it? Okay. Drug habit. So you didn't say drug addict. Okay, drug habit. Okay. So obviously, I mean, have you pointed out if they have a drug addict? I don't even know if it's you. I don't even know what you're talking about. I really don't. I really don't. Forget it. I feel silly. I don't know. Because some things it's not your story, and you're like, okay, well, I don't know. Okay, so, that's I'm sorry to hear that, Kelly. Um, it's like you're married to that, or well, not you, but that person, and did they have that habit before? Is it yourself? And are they so strict on drug use that you feel like you can't be yourself? and even smoke a joint. I'm not even talking like as if it's you. I'm just saying in general. I don't know, you know? Oh, no, it's not. I know you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that, Miriam. I knew that's where you were going. So they didn't cheat on you. And were you the type that was like, oh, you can't even smoke cigarettes? Uh, don't slice in another woman. What other woman? Okay, weed. Mary Jane. I'm in love with Mary Jane. She is my main thing. She makes me feel so. She makes my heart sing. So, but seriously, did you try to change him, Miriam? Did you try to change him? Did you? You know, a friend of mine once told me that one of the main reasons that people end up getting divorced is because when they get married, when they're getting married, the woman's thinking he'll change, and right. But when they get married initially, there might be some things that the woman is thinking he'll change, and the guy's thinking she's fine, she's never going to change. He doesn't think she's ever going to change. Then years down the road, she realizes he never changed. He'll never change. He'll never change. And he says, he changed. She's not fun anymore. She was fun when we were dating. Now I can't even fucking smoke in my own house. She won't go out for a drink with me. You know, what happened? I mean, I'm not saying that in an accusatory way, but that's what happened, huh? You didn't give him enough rope to hang himself. You were already choking him because you didn't love him that much. You wanted to control him. In my opinion, if it's even you we're talking about. But now, maybe you think you might have been wrong. Do you miss him? Do you miss him? Have you ever touched someone and, all right, is there anyone you can remember their smell, their scent? And, but they had kids though, Kelly. You guys were, I mean, when you got kids, that's tough, you know? Did he want to be controlling or did you? Having what feelings? To do drugs or to cheat? Because I don't think he cheated on you. I think that you weren't honest. It's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not trying to say, that that's the way it is. I think that you might have said, oh, or maybe you might have quit partying and wanted him to quit partying, but he wanted to keep partying. But they did love you. They do love you, and they loved each other too. And they also, you said did you say they were alcoholics or addicted? Um, in a way, did they stay together or, oh, he died, you said. Did she ever get remarried, Kelly? Um, I wonder if he, well, no, no, not about cheating, about, love. Love, like, there's something to be said for seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. There's something to be said for somebody, right? Exactly. For somebody who puts out those butterflies in your stomach. And the sad part is those butterflies can turn into the knot in your stomach. But the fact that you had the butterflies at all is what makes that knot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bet you there's people out there that would rather their person had done drugs than cheated physically. They wouldn't be calling them comparable, you know? Comparable. They wouldn't call, like, doing drugs comparable to cheating. I'm not saying that you can't call that. That's your prerogative. I'm saying, but I bet you there's people out there who have been, you know, cheated on like in that manner that would have rather found out somebody was doing some lines or something or smoking some. I don't even know like what in your for instance, Miriam. That's true. Kids are resilient. But I think that it sounds like you're mom and dad loved each other and loved you kids. And in some strange, dysfunctional way, you worked. That family worked. There was love there. Was there love there, Kelly? I'm assuming. I mean, I'm wrong. I could be wrong. You could tell me no, hell no. But I'm just assuming. She could be confident. Good to be confident. Absolutely good to be confident. You know, I mean, if you're a good person and you're certain you're a good person, then you're probably a better person for having the people that you've had in your life and the experiences that you've had. You know, I'm a better person for having known some people. Sometimes it's because I want to emulate them, and sometimes it's because I want to do the exact opposite. But I'm always going to make it into me being a better person for having known them. It's called self awareness and making a conscious effort. I get you, Kelly, and nobody's perfect, and that was the hand that was given to you. So play it the best way you know how, which would be to take those memories and, you know, it's, all in how you want, yeah, those bad memories are the ones that you'd have to push aside, just like if somebody had, you know, cheated on you, right? Or cancer or anything, something that happens that you can't control. So you have to control your memories of it. You have to control how you see it. Some things you don't even want to see at all. I get you, but Miriam, you didn't answer my question. When you two met, did he party or did you? Because something changed there, right? Miriam, something changed. Either you became, either you recovered or you knew he partied and thought he was going to change, thought you could change him, acted like it wouldn't be a problem. I mean, I don't think that I think that you're a pretty smart cookie and that you would know if someone was partying that you were going to marry. I don't think you just like, oh, married this guy and then he was partying. I think that you know, could recognize if they were or weren't. I'm just asking you, did it happen? I'm just asking because I'm not trying to put you down for your thoughts or anything, but I just need a little. And then did you stop? Did you stop smoking pot and drinking and he didn't? I mean, that happens quite a bit, and, you know, it sucks because there you've got, like, a complete opposite situation where, like, and but what though? Like, did um, like, you gotta nobody's gonna judge here, Miriam, nobody at all. I'm saying that you don't even have to get into details, but the the majority of the time, it's like, if one person ends up deciding, "You know what, I'm quitting everything," then it comes down to the same as, um, that that person, like, basically, if they don't want to. Yeah, so I'm saying that did you did his drug use increase? Did you stop drinking? Like, what made you call him a say he had a drug habit? Well, then I'm confused because you know what I think, Miriam, is that one day you're gonna meet somebody that will, like, give you just such, ah, like I don't know, like, their skin feels, like, hot to you. Like, they touch you and you're like, you know what I mean? It's not like a shock when somebody walks across the carpet. It's like it envelops you with just one hand on your knee, and I don't know, and the cheating thing, infidelity or something, um, I can tell you that that person never the person I feel that way about, let's say that let's just say hypothetically, um, Bobbles feels that way about her husband, okay? He just, like, he's the one, right? Um, and I can tell you that the person who I felt that way about, he didn't cheat on me, but we're, we've been apart for a long, long time. If he were to come back, I'd be hard pressed. It'd be hard for me to not think about, like that song Alia, and he goes, I see your lips and I wonder who's been kissing them, right? So I've never been in a situation like that. But I can tell you, I think that the heart wants what the heart wants. Like, I might try to put something out of my head if somebody who set the bar and realistically, reality, I would think it'd be tough, man. but you gotta understand that the heart wants what the heart wants. And all I'm saying is basically she had come to some kind of an epiphany that she realized why she was being so mean. And she thought that maybe if she spoke on it and about the nightmares and stuff, and I could relate about the nightmares, um, yeah, but you didn't say that he specific. You said cheated, then you said it was comparable to drug habit. You said he had a drug habit. So you really haven't specifically said what you didn't want to live like. But I can tell you that love is bittersweet. Sometimes you have to, like, the best thing is to let go. But man, you know, it's so fucked up. It is fucked up. Like, I know what you're saying about that whole, it's like that. I don't know. You could come up on the panel if you wanted to, Miriam. I mean, I know what you're saying about the whole thing because, the more I sit here and the more I think about it wasn't cheating, the and it was alcohol, but there was probably more going on that I didn't know of, drug use. I didn't think that he cheated or anything ever, but I mean, but it's like, it's another one of those things that I think, maybe if there's, because I like to think that there is, something to believe in, like a heaven for different word. I mean, I don't know, like a different word, but, like somewhere where you're, uh, you know, eternity, right? And I guess because I'm the type of person that I get real deep and I like trying to analyze things and, try to do blah, 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 right? Okay, try to figure things out. And I always thought, yeah, love is so freaking hard. Like if somebody breaks up and you split up, it hurts. But if they never ever do anything bad to you and it's the love of your life, but one of you is sure to die at some point, right? And that's going to hurt too. So no matter what, it's destined to hurt, you know? No, I know. I brought it up with me. It's always going to be always gonna hurt. No matter if it's fucking good or bad, it's gonna hurt. If you fucking love somebody, it's gonna hurt. No matter how it ends, it's gonna hurt. But what's that song? Like, I hope you dance for it. Don't let some hell bent heart leave bitter, like it might be a risk, but it's a risk worth taking. That'd be cool. I appreciate that been coming here and, having this conversation. I've enjoyed it. Gave me something to talk about tonight. And all I could say is, like, if that's the case, that love is, no matter what, it's always destined to end and destined to hurt, then I would rather have experienced it than never to have experienced it. And that if there is such a thing as heaven, that maybe everything that, you know, you loved about love, you feel. And it's not even like, it's just whenever you were content. Yeah, I think about that. Thank you, Miriam. I was content. I was content then. And like that movie Bridges of Madison County, which is such a good movie and such a good book, that like she wanted to go with him, with Clint Eastwood, but she said, you know, that was, she had forgot, like he asked her, yeah, but what don't you want to be happy? And she said, that, like, her story, but she had forgotten what made her happy. But the thing was that time that she had with Clint Eastwood, whatever the guy's name was in it. Um, I remember her name was like Sophia or something, wasn't it? I don't know. I could be wrong. But it was Meryl Streep. The book was really good too. It was a quick read too, but it was pretty much just like the movie. Um, she didn't want to mess up the fairy tale of those couple of days they had together. She didn't want it to like end with her leaving with him and breaking the hearts of her and her kids. I mean, of her husband and their kids. And what if it didn't work out between them two? Then it would have been, you know, it would have been no fairy tale anymore. And she just wanted to keep it a fairy tale. She didn't want to know the ending. She wanted to be able to create the ending. Sometimes that's what's best, to create the ending. We can do that. We're allowed. We're allowed a little happiness in this life, but sometimes it's got to be, made out of what we're given to work with. But hey, I mean, who knows? Maybe like, the scars make people all strong. Maybe the person who had like the most scars on their hands always was indicative of the person who was the richest and had the most because they were working and they were prying open oysters and probably getting caught and doing things and stuff. I mean, the most scars. I mean, I'm sure that there's other origins of that whole thing. Well, there you go, Miriam. Someday somebody's gonna make your heart go thumpity thump, and you're gonna be like, my head's spinning from that kiss, and then you'll know. And even if it doesn't happen, it's okay to be hopeful, right? I mean, in actuality, that would be easier to make happen. Good night, Kelly Kane, and consider yourself lucky to have seen love, even if it's in its most confusing form for most people, but a lot of people don't have two parents that love each other and their children and stay together knowing that it would be best to leave each other. They knew what would be best for them, best for you kids, but they loved each other. And that's a rare thing. And in its own dysfunctional way, your you your family worked and was loved. I mean, I don't know you. I could be wrong. And you, Miriam, you're destined for a fairy tale. Write it first, though. Maybe, maybe you're manifesting a horror story. Good night. Much love and peace to you. To all you guys, really. Because I'm gonna go. I'm tired too. Peace, love, and tacos. Let's go get some tacos. Love you guys.